to go racing. And again, folks, 45 minutes the time limit, 25 laps the scheduled distance. The final end of a triple header here for you. The IndyCar Sancio Grand Prix is coming up, but we've got the future stars of IndyCar first. These drivers just 2 steps away from the big show. The last five of the last 7 champions in this category are now in IndyCar. Which one of these drivers will make it there over the next couple of years? Field set, green flag flying, and a solid jump for Ariel Elkin. Green, green, green. And we're rolling here at Indianapolis. Big run down to the inside there. You can see Matt Clark at the bottom as well. Actually, Matt Clark a little higher up. That's Douglas looking to go around the outside as well. Big start there as well for, I believe, one of the turn 3 cars. One driver around right in the middle of the track, and we're going to have at least 3 of them get collected. One of them, Sebastian Manson. Again, 3 drivers around. Looks to be like the 19 went around there as well. That might have been Jacob Douglas. So indeed, an incident coming down into turn number 1, and the rest of the field streaming their way through the 5-6 combo. If you cut the corner like that driver just did, you're gonna have to give a spot back. There's Jacob Douglas driving over somebody else's wing, trying to figure out who else was involved. Matt Clark might have been involved in that one as well. I don't see him coming around here. He may be late to the party. Yeah, I think Clark potentially, maybe it might have been Clark's front wing, but there's a number of drivers involved there in turn number 1. Full course yellow now out on the racetrack. We'll let them run for the remainder of the lap. Full course yellow now out. Drivers will bring it down to pace car speed. We are going to get a look here, folks. Here's the replay. Caleb Gaffera, have a look at this. You did 2 starts here already. There's that damaged front wing down in turn number 1. We'll have a look at it. Shot from the back coming into the corner. Coming across. Looks like Taylor, yeah, I think Max Taylor got into the side of Jacob Douglas, and more contact further back. Caleb, have a look at this. We'll let it run through. Yeah, there's the contact there. Nowhere to go for Matt Clark, kind of right in the middle. He's able to slide through, and he loses the front wing, so Clark will be going to the pit lane to get a new wing. But there's the contact there. Pretty much just 2 drivers getting it together at the apex.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like Alessandro Tullio tried to go for a big move there on the outside. Almost had it, and it looks like it got a little tight there at the bottom with Max Taylor getting into that curb a little bit and bouncing into Jacob Douglas. But, I mean, it's almost a clean start for Tullio.
It looked pretty good. There was an opportunity to make it happen, but again, you saw that Max Taylor went down the inside there and maybe a little mid-corner understeer. He got into the back, the left front to right rear contact on the number 19 of Jacob Douglas, so it would very well likely not be a second victory there. Drivers involved, Douglas, Taylor, DeTullio, another one for Brady Golan. This poor kid has had top 10 speed. There's the 44 of DeTullio there. He has had a really rough run. 3 wins on the season, but if he's not winning, he's not finishing. That's been the big problem. And you know consistency is key, Caleb. When you're not finishing races, you're in trouble.
Exactly. I mean, it hurts big for the championship. I mean, that was with us at St. Pete as well. We got into the wall in one of the races, and I mean, it hurts the championship. There's always a way to come back, and I mean, DeTullio's been doing really well this season, so I think he can probably recover from it, but DNF hurts a lot.
When he knows he's got the speed to win, he can go down to another weekend and another triple header potentially and sweep himself. So there's pace in that car to be able to come back, but the consistency right now of Max Garcia is most certainly paying off. Alan Bestwick, you've obviously seen a bunch of starts here in the USF Pro Championship. That was one of the messier ones that we've had today.
Yeah, you know, it's so difficult to teach patience when you know your best opportunity to get something done is right away in that first lap, right? The heavy braking zone. And so we see these things. Look, this could happen in the IndyCar race too. You know, that's a tough corner to get through when everybody needs to go, but there's not enough space for everybody to go.
Caleb, talk about that balance then. Obviously, you have to balance the, hey, you know that the opening corner and the opening lap's the best opportunity to overtake, but sometimes you got to be patient a little bit.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's sometimes you're sitting there like, oh, I want to go for all of it, but then you got to think about it and be like, maybe I should just play it safe and bring it home and just get through turn 1 and let the race sell itself out.
We really saw Jacob Douglas do that in race number 2. He made a couple of big lunges to try to get to the inside of Ariel Elkin, but thought better of it and eventually pulled back and was able to get the pass done later on. So again, if you are patient, you can maybe get that opportunity that's a bit cleaner. There's the number 44 of Alessandro DeTullio. What a rough start here. It has been a tough weekend for DeTullio, and this is going to allow Max Garcia to push away. And you think about the fact that the next 2 drivers in points behind Garcia are DeTullio and Clark. Garcia runs in second right now. DeTulio is out. Clarkson's 17th. They were able to get the new wing put on the machine of Matt Clark. So I will tell you this right now. If you are around the racetrack, look at the tail of the field. Watch the number 90 of Matt Clark. He is going to be driving like a man possessed to try to work his way back to the front. He knows how crucial it is for him to get back around. So Clark hopefully did not lose a lap, was able to get the wing changed and back out onto the racetrack. We'll see how it plays out here. Yeah, there's Clark right now rolling up the straightaway. You can see him in the back part of the screen there. Getting some heat into those tires. It'll be a tail and Charlie start here for Clark, and he's going to be a ton of fun to watch coming through. Let me tell you that right now. Elkin takes the lead. Garcia second. Frankie Mossman up to third. Let's re-rack here because obviously an incident happening up front. Sebastian Manson, the driver, was able to come through. I said it was Sebastian Manson early. It was actually Jace Denmark that was involved in that. The 26, not the 28. So Denmark, of course, was right in the middle of there. Nowhere to go for Jace. He's in the back as well. So it's going to be Jace, Denmark, and Matt Clark that are going to be coming through strong. Manson up into fourth spot. Cooper Becklin fifth. Joey Brienza in sixth position. Owen Tangevelu, who started in 15th, finds himself up to 8th. +7 on the opening lap for Tangevelu, staying out of the trouble. Nicholas Montiero in 9th. George Garciarce in 10th. And how about the driver starting 20th? Carson Eder +9. And that was kind of the strategy coming in. I'm starting to get the tail of the field. I'll let the guys do what they do up front. I'll find my way through, and Carson Eder gets paid off on that one there. Currently 11th ahead of Costello, Durst, Finelli, Denmark, DeFavis, and Clark. Jacob Douglas a lap down in the pit lane here right now. I don't know whether or not that car completely damaged or if he'll be back out onto the racetrack. We'll see whether or not we see Jacob Douglas. But again, Caleb, I don't want to say it, but it's the truth, right? You can't win a race in the opening corner, but you sure can lose it.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just that you're biting the bullet, they're going for it. And I mean, as a driver, you want to go for everything you can and get it as quick as you can, but sometimes you just got to play it safe and let it come to you.
There's the answer to my question right there. The Pabst Racing team going to work on the left front of the 19 of Jacob Douglas. And they're going to work hard here because remember, get him out on the racetrack. Even if he's a couple laps down, any more attrition is going to move him forward. Jacob's a driver who's in championship contention. He won earlier today. He knows he can win races. Just like Alessandro DeTulio, you go on a string of race wins, it's not done. Even though Garcia's out very strongly like he did last year in USF 2000, I always say it's not over. We have so much racing still to do. We're going to the Oval. One lap, yeah, being told one more time around, we're going to the Oval. We're going to Toronto, you know, it's Road America. Let's go back to the Oval. That's your next race, Caleb Gaffera. What do you think? You've done a little bit of oval racing.
I've messed around a little bit of oval and some legend cars and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's going to be pretty fun. I mean, I've never driven a wing car on an oval, but I think it's going to be awesome.
75 laps around the Indianapolis Raceway Park, that 5/8 mile banked oval. Always a fantastic event. Joining USAC there with their Hoosier 100 event and the midgets as well. So USF 2000, USF Pro 2000 will be there. Number of top drivers have had a chance to win races at that racetrack there, Indianapolis Raceway Park, IRP. It's going to be a fun evening for sure. The Carb Night Classic, the Friday before the 500. Looking forward to that for sure. We'll cross our fingers we get good weather for that one. We've had some rain over the last number of years, and we want a beautiful blue sky Indiana night for that one. Elkin, Garcia, Mossman, Manson, and Becklin. We'll see what Garcia does here. He has not yet been on the podium here this weekend. Finishing in the top 5, top 6, getting good finishes, good points paying finishes, but he hasn't been able to join the top 3 drivers up here on the podium in Indianapolis. So he'd like to do that here for sure, and again, a victory here for him. This is one of those deals, Caleb, he's got such a lead right now over DeTulio, and even in bigger lead, obviously, over Matt Clark, who's going to be fighting his way back forward. What's the mindset here of your teammate, you think, Max Garcia? You could sit here in second, bank the points, head on to the Oval, or you can go for that race win, right? You can get at it and score another victory, maybe really start to step away.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, I've raced Max for my whole karting career.
You have, yeah.
It's a whole back and forth game right there, and we just want to go for it all. So knowing Max, I'm sure he's going to go for it.
And this is 100% true. This is a really good guy to have up here. Caleb and Max, again, guys, they've been racing together since they were about 6 or 7 years of age in the cadet categories, junior categories, all the way up. They were hardcore head-to-head competitors. So we'll come back to Caleb on that. We are going to go back to green flag, and indeed, we're rolling here. Coming across start-finish line, a solid jump to begin this next version of, or at least the next chapter of this race. We'll see how long it lasts. There's a big move there. Frankie Mossman going to try to go deep on the brakes to see if he can't get around. Look at how deep they're all going. Mossman's thinking about the inside. Book it. He'll go around the outside, move fast. Frankie Mossman up into second. A solid run there. Caleb, to me that looked like that was kind of, we have a driver slowing, sorry, yellow flag here, driver slowing on the front straightaway. George Garcia, the D-Force Racing number 10, slow on the front straightaway. So full course yellow once again.
Not yet, still in the green. They're waiting to see if he's going to make it out.
Oh, potential, just a local yellow.
Yeah.
The local yellow here at start finish. There's your driver there, George Garcia for D-Force Racing. Dead stick on the front straightaway. They're throwing just the yellow right now. I would assume we're going to see full course. Indeed, we will. Yeah, you can't leave him there. There's nothing we can do about that, so we'll go full course yellow. Where I was going was there. That looked like a game of chicken almost. As they got into the braking zone, everybody was going deep. I literally thought Mossman made me try an Elkin.
Yeah, I mean, he was definitely pushing it there, but I mean, when you're outside on the outside line, you can brake on the rubber, and you just have so much. You can go so much deeper on the brakes than the inside line, and I think that's where Max kind of got caught out a little bit. But I think Mossman's going to go forward, and I think Max will start to come back through as well.
And I'll tell you, Mossman will be aggressive trying to get by Ariel Elkin. And Elkin's obviously very tough to pass as well. We know he will defend aggressively. So these two drivers up front, no shortage of aggression as well. Caleb, you still do a lot of karting as well. Back home at your track in North Carolina, run at Trackhouse Motorplex, formerly Mooresville, the track at Mooresville. Let's talk a little bit about the transition back and forth. You're racing karts last weekend. You come back here. Is braking the biggest difference between those two disciplines?
I mean, braking is definitely one of them. I'd also say the handling side as well, because I mean, in a go-kart, you barely turn the wheel. You're just touching it, and you're almost just leaning into the corner. But in this, you got to put some wheel into it. But I'd say the brakes is big because, I mean, in a go-kart, you're hitting maybe 350, 400 PSI on the brakes, and here you're hitting 12, 1400, and then in the pro cars, 18 to 2000.
Wow.
So you're really pushing the brakes there. So I'd say it's a pretty big difference.
I did the track walk with Tier 3 Motorsports this weekend. I've done it with Pabst Racing before. A lot of the times that they'll talk about that initial brake pressure, but then it's releasing that brake and letting that car roll back to the center of the corner, the apex, and really carry a lot of corner speed through. Is that something you've worked hard on?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm still working on a little bit more, just trying to get more into it and feel that how it's like supposed to be. But it's supposed to be one big stab, and then you roll out of it smooth. There shouldn't be a double brake. It should just be one single brake.
And how deep were you braking in one? What board were you guys braking on?
I was about probably 375.
Okay.
If I was really pushing it.
All right, I like it. We saw some good stuff there. They're continuing to work. This is Caleb's team, Pabst Racing. They continue to work on this machine of Jacob Douglas, and it's actually helping him right now. Now, granted, he's already 4 laps back, but this other yellow could give him an opportunity to get back on. They're literally completely changing the left front suspension. As you know, with these cars, folks, when there is contact, it's designed to shear off so you don't actually damage the tub itself. The actual where it bolts onto the monocoque in the front of the car is designed to shear off. So then you're able to put it back on again and get things fired back up, get it rolling. So they're going to do an entirely new left front suspension setup for Jacob Douglas to get him back on the racetrack. I love the effort being put in here by Pabst Racing. I'll tell you, there is no one in the paddock that's going to hold them to the fire about not putting in the effort. Augie Pabst, that is definitely a situation where the culture is top down. This guy is a hardcore racer, wants to win championships, loves the team championship as well. So we're back underway. You see the car there getting pulled off up on the oval part of the racetrack. So he is out of harm's way now. We are racing down into turn number 1. Back at it right now for Ariel Elkin. Will Frankie Mossman take a run? Look at this. Yeah, we're going to get right after it. Mossman's going to run around the outside, overcooks it, and goes 4 wheels off. Mossman's going to lose a bunch of spots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He tried it. He'll tuck back in. Frankie Mossman went for it in turn number 1. And you can see how much he lost going 4 wheels off. He'll be right back up on it again. That is going to move Garcia back into the 2nd position. Manson goes up into 3rd. Cooper Becklin 4th. And I believe Joey Brienza getting through to P5. Matt Clark and Jace Denmark already up to 14th and 13th respectively. They will continue to attack as they work their way forward. There's a move there. You can see Frankie Mossman having a battle, I believe, with Nicholas Montiero. Like he might have gone back into the 7th position. Mossman's got a car, though. He knows he can run up front. Drivers jamming it to the inside of turn number 10. A hard place to pass. Number 1, you can't really pass there. And number 2, if you kind of blow the exit of turn 10, you lose so much on the way back over to turn number 12. Here's a move further back. That's the number 8 at Tangevelu going to the inside of Logan Adams. And Adams now running in the top 10. He's had some bad luck on the weekend. A top 10 finish would be a great way to cap things off for Adams, the privateer team. Here's your leader coming across the line again. Let's see what Garcia's got for him. Everybody lining things back up. Biggest battle maybe a little bit further back with Adams trying to go back after Monteiro. Do we see a lunge potentially here from Garcia? No. Elkin looking to try to win his second race of the weekend. Denmark to 11th, Clark to 12th. They're able to slide by Carson Eder. Eder currently running 13th position. He'd be wise to hook up to those two drivers moving forward. Jace Denmark and Matt Clark, very quick competitors trying to get themselves back up into the top 10 now. They'll try to close here on Owen Tangevelu. That'll be the next run for Jace Denmark. Up front, Elkin, about 3/10 the lead over Garcia. They have almost a full second on Manson, so the front two drivers trying to pull away here a little bit. Indeed, everybody settling in. Caleb, you obviously do a lot of racing in karting, and again, everybody knows if you can get into second, you just try to pull away, right? You're not trying to get too aggressive here. You're thinking about Garcia, who's got so much karting experience like you do. This is a situation where, hey, no need to put the pressure on right now. For these laps, we're 7 laps into a 25-lapper. For the next 10 laps, just sit right there and pull away from the rest of the field.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he can sit there and get up to him and just stay with them and try to break away from third and make it a 2-car race. I mean, that's how I always like to do it, is just make it as small of a race as possible and just try to get away. But I mean, knowing Max, he might try to go for it and try to get away, but I'd probably do the same thing, to be honest. As you can see, they're blocking down the front stretch. So
yeah, that kind of surprised me a little bit, but as you said, Max Garcia, a guy who always wants to be out front. Yeah, we're going to race it here down to the inside here. You talked about the fact you're breaking on the rubber to the outside. They'll try a little over-under here. Oh, he gets a really good run as well. I don't think he has enough to get him into turn number 3. He's side by side. He did the over-under coming through 2. He's on the outside of 3, outside of 4, and does he get a better run now, though?
See that big wiggle when he was in the middle of 3 and 4 trying to hook it up, and they'll have to squeeze the funnel down there.
Hold on for turn number 7, folks. It was a shallow entry into turn 5 for Elkin, and he's going to block all the way to the bottom of the racetrack. You'll see Garcia pop back out. Here comes the over-under again. Oh, Garcia going to work on Ariel Elkin. This is going to allow Manson, Beckman, and Mossman, who's back to P5 already. Look at Mossman. That may be the fastest car on the racetrack right now. I know Garcia set the quickest time, but Garcia already back up into 5th spot. Excellent stuff. Matt Clark able to get by Jace Denmark as well, so he's worked his way up a spot. Here's that battle. You can see they're closing back up. There's Brienza as well. Costello right there. Monteiro, Tangevelu. Logan Adams still in the 10th position, but right behind him is Matt Clark.
And despite what you were talking about a minute ago about staying in line and trying to make it a 2-car breakaway, with Garcia being so aggressive on Elkin here, they brought 3rd, 4th, and 5th right back into the fight. Here they go, side by side for the race lead down to turn 1.
Caleb Guevara wasn't wrong. Max Garcia, 100% going for it. Look at the over-under coming from Manson here. Not quite enough. This is good stuff right now. The fight further back as well. Mossman really going to work here on Cooper Becklin. There's contact further back with a couple of drivers as well. That may have been Durst and DeFavis. But again, coming out through, you can see that Garcia is going for this in a big way. And there's Mossman. Yeah, he's eventually gotten by Cooper Becklin, moved Frankie Mossman back up into 4th. Frankie's not done. He's got a car that he is comfortable with. He is really ready to attack. We haven't seen this Frankie yet here this weekend. He is rolling up nicely. P4 now. A little further back, you see Matt Clark. I believe he has got by. There's Clark right there. He's got lots of room in front of him. Work to be done for Clark, but he's been able to get a spot. So, indeed, he'll be continue digging to try to work his way back forward. Last time by about a 10th quicker than Logan Adams. We'll see how that plays out when they come back around. You see the fight further back. Elkin already starting to cover off the inside of a bunch of corners. Just a little bit more shallow into the corner there to make sure no one's going underneath. As you do that, you'll work the tires a little bit. You give up a little bit of the exit as well. And look at this, Manson ready to go. Garcia there as well. We may see a 3-wide run here. Big run here for Garcia. Again, across the yard of bricks. He will tuck back in. He's going to keep Elkin pinched all the way down to the bottom. He may clear him. He does. Elkin going to dive to the outside. Manson, remember, those are the 2 TJ Speed Motorsport cars. Look at Elkin going to throw it back up the inside. Oh, what a pass. Held the outside and was able to dive up the inside coming to the corner. Caleb, what do you think about that?
Oh,
wow,
look
that
out.
was a
Contact there.
Big contact.
Oh, they are, yeah, drivers around. That's Garcia. Garcia goes around, I'm going to say likely with Ariel Elkin potentially, or maybe with Sebastian Manson.
I think it was Manson who went off into the gravel and just came back on there.
He was luckily able to get through Allen, no doubt about it. Whoever it was that actually went off, that lost it going through there, but indeed, those two drivers running second and third potentially, those that got together. I think Elkin probably was clean and green through. Manson was going back on the attack, so those two drivers. And again, huge for the championship as the leader ends up going down deeper in the field. What's that going to do for guys like Clark coming from the tail? Amazing stuff. There's Mossman too. Remember, he's still right there as well. Mossman will be up into second. So we'll restack it again when we come across.
And damage from going off through the gravel trap and the contact. You see the car just crabbing sideways. And after a trip through the grass again over there in turn number 10. So Elkin will continue on, but the team car got the worst of that 3-wide scrunch into turn 4.
Yeah, Sebastian Manson, just nothing he could do about that when he was battling it out there with Max Garcia, who now falls down into, I believe, the 9th position. So move Matt Clark up into 8th. Max Clark now 9th. Tanner DeFavis 10th. And right there with DeFavis, in fact, that's a good battle. DeFavis, Eder, and Durst, I believe, are the guys battling just outside the top 10. I think that might be the scrap coming through right here. Yeah, that's them right there. A little bit further back, Tanner DeFavis. Durst, I believe, has been able to get around. This is good stuff here right now as these drivers are battling. This is the leaders coming through. You can see Garcia there as well. Further back is that battle for 10th, 11th, 12th, and 13th is the 26th of Manson cruising down pit lane. So 11 laps down. We're not even at the halfway point of this one here. We have got a ton of action, and we're also watching Frankie Mossman get at it here. Ariel Elkin laid down a 1:23.3. All that action behind. Mossman had to check up coming through there, not to get collected in that incident, obviously, so he got off the throttle. That's given Elkin a 1.5-second lead, but let's see what Mossman's got in store. A long way to go still. Again, we're not even to the halfway point. Still a couple laps away from lap 13. There's Carson Eder. Battling it out with now Sebastian Manson. So Manson's still there. The driver, that was Jace Denmark, actually the driver that had the damage. I thought it was going to be, it was Manson. Manson was able to get out of that incident unscathed. The damage was actually Jace Denmark. Tough one for Jace. Started 10th, had a couple of good finishes moving his way forward in race 1 and race 2. Not to be here in race number 3 as damage puts him off the racetrack. That's the fight there between Brienza and Monteiro for P5. Joey Brienza running in the 5th spot. Monteiro in 6th. Best finish for Brienza coming into the weekend was an 8th, the opening round at NOLA Motorsports Park. So top 5 would be great for Joey Brienza here today. He'll keep digging to try to see if he can't get up to Costello. In fact, Costello, though, significantly quicker on that last lap.
So this is where, for Ariel Elkin, the opportunity has opened up, because after having to spend so much time running a defensive line to try to keep the race lead, now he's putting his head down, and you can see the lap times he's turning in and just growing his gap to second place.
Caleb, let's go to you on that. That's the dream, right? Anytime you're in a race, you want them battling for second. You want them to give up on you is what you want. You want them to start fighting for that second spot on the podium so you can just pull away.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, once they start battling behind you, it's like, all right, just set in the laps, be smooth, be patient, just put in your laps together and don't make any mistakes.
Do you look at your dash? Are you watching plus and minuses on the dash?
I try not to, because I feel like it'll mess me up more. So I just try to put my head down and keep going. Like today when we got into an incident in turn 1, I just put my head down and went through the field.
It's going to be a penalty assessed to Frankie Mossman. Second place driver for avoidable contact is going to get a pass-through penalty from race control.
Wow, Mossman from P2. That will ruin his race. Again, a lot of the times our race control will try to have a penalty served in race. So Mossman's going to have to do the drive-through. And again, that's rough for him. He's going to need a yellow flag to get himself back up. Effectively, that moves Cooper Becklin up into second, Costello to third, Brienza to fourth, and now Monteiro up into 5th. Matt Clark still charging, as we said. He had to go to the tail of the field after getting collected in that incident that took out both Alessandro Gattulio and Max Taylor. Brady Golan as well. Clark has worked his way back up now into 8th position. He's right there with Owen Tangevelu, who was 0.3 of a second quicker last time by. That'll be a 7th position for him. Remember, Garcia back now in 9th position. He'll go up to 8th.
Look at this knot from 5th on back coming at you here in turn number 11 as one of the cars sliding back through that group. I think, was that Tangevelu that was getting, he lost about 4 positions there in that last three set of corners.
We'll see as they come back around. That's how big your lead is right now. Here comes Mossman into pit lane. This is gutting for Frankie Mossman, and he'll need a yellow flag to potentially get back to the tail of the field. It'll be a drive-through penalty. The entire field will stream by Frankie Mossman in that VRD Racing number 84. incident responsibility for contact on the racetrack. Becklin moves up to second, Costello to third, Monteiro fourth, Clark fifth, Brienza sixth. Seventh is going to be Owen Tangibelu. Eighth will be Tanner DeFavis. Ninth, I believe, is going to be Sebastian Manson when he comes back through. 10th will be Carson Etter. So Carson Etter from the very tail of the field, 20th, split the difference. He goes to P10. Great run here for Carson Etter right now. Also, yeah, I got the update here that Jacob Douglas is back on the racetrack. He's back by about 8 laps right now, so he'll need a little bit more. In fact, he's going to likely be able to leapfrog ahead of Jace Denmark. Not going to be able to go by Mossman because he will not lose a lap. He gets back out. Mossman comes back out onto the track very likely in the 14th or 15th spot, tail of the grid. But guys, Ariel is pulling away. He is leveraging this in a big way. Big lap times at 1:22.805 last time by. He was about a 10th quicker than Cooper Becklin. 3.3 seconds the lead. The TJ Speed driver looking to grab his second win of the season now. And great way to get it done when you think about the fact that he wrecked hard in the opening race at St. Pete. Was not able to get the car fixed. Did not start the second race. He's going to be the top 5 in points still, even though he had hardly any points coming into St. Petersburg.
And again, you know, the moment yesterday with that big win and the emotion that that was displayed, then to follow it up this morning with another top run, a solid finish, 5th position. So what a weekend to turn a season around after the disappointment down in St. Petersburg, to get it rolling, and of all places, Indianapolis.
Yeah, just inject a bunch of confidence back into that young driver as well, too. Caleb, you know, you win races, it gives you so much momentum and confidence as a young driver.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it just boosts your mentality, and you're like, yeah, I know I can do this now, and you just got to keep rolling with it.
That's it. Momentum is a huge thing. And again, we'll watch these drivers head to the Oval in a couple of weeks. From there, of course, we're off to Mid-Ohio, Road America, Toronto, capping the season off in Portland, Oregon. Everybody, all 3 of the series, USF Juniors, USF 2000, USF Pro 2000, all joining us there. Big shout out to everybody here trackside. Great to have you here. IndyCar ready to fire up for a fantastic race this afternoon. Those of you joining us on the USF Pro Championships YouTube channel, hello to those of you as well. We know that you follow in from around the world. People watching, of course, New Zealand, Australia, Brazil, Colombia, Mexico, Canada. Awesome to have everybody tuning in here to watch the broadcast of our final race of the weekend here. Race number 5 in total. We're back into the triple header here for USF Pro 2000, the top level of this USF Pro Championships. And again, the drivers in this particular category racing for big money, no doubt about that. The scholarship to move them in to the Indy Next program, over $594,000, the scholarship to make that next jump up.
Here's a challenge for 4th and 5th as Montero tries to hold off Garcia down the main straightaway to turn number 1. Garcia with the inside, and under braking, he'll hang on to that spot. He'll move up a position and move forward into 4th spot.
Great recovery, Alan, for Max Garcia, able to get by Matt Clark already, so he's moved Clark back a spot. So now it's Monteiro in 5th and Clark 6th. Elkin, Becklin, Costello, Garcia, Monteiro, Clark top 6, Tangivelu 7th, Brienza 8th, DeFavis 9th, and 10th right now is Sebastian Manson. So indeed, 16 laps down, 9 laps remaining here for the drivers in USF Pro 2000, and Elkin's lead now 3.5 seconds. Becklin matched his time last time by. Both of those drivers turning 1:23.25. In fact, Becklin just a little bit quicker. He's got a full second on Costello. This would be huge right now for Cooper Becklin. He's trying to put together some big races. 6th in the opening round, then a couple of DNFs. He had a rough start as well at NOLA, 13th and 16th, 8th in the backup race. He's had some good runs here this weekend in top 10 as well. So Cooper Becklin looking for his best career finish, potentially onto the podium here in the final race at Indianapolis.
So the group from 7th on back, just hitting now turn 13 and working their way here to 14 and up onto the main straightaway. Those are the closest fights for position. 7th, 8th, and 9th there. Tangivelu, Brienza, and DeFavis coming at you now toward the yard of bricks, and this is a pretty good scrap.
Yeah, you know what? This has been a really good weekend for Tanner DeFavis as well. Ran last year with Jay Howard Driver Development in USF 2000. Did a number of the USF 2000 races early in the season. Won on the Oval in the Freedom 75. Then came and ran the finale at Portland as well. Not going to do the full season. A couple of races here and there for DeFavis. Of course, the hometown race. He's from Avon, Indiana, so wants to run here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Got the pass done there as well on Brienza. So moved Tanner DeFavis up into 8th position. Really impressive Tanner here, running strong, and again, the only driver for Jay Howard Driver Development here, a single car effort as well. Frankie Mossman was with the team earlier, but moved over to VRD Racing here for Indianapolis and beyond. Great run for him as he works his way up again into 8th spot.
Race leader Ariel Elkin has opened up a 3.8 second gap as somebody's missing an important piece of equipment coming down the pit lane.
That was Logan Adams coming in, folks. I feel gutted for him. This has just been a rough weekend all told for Logan Adams, another local driver just east of the city out there in Greenfield, Indiana, and a broken rear wing, as Alan had mentioned. It's somewhere out on the racetrack right now, and Adams coming in. I don't know that they'll even replace that now. Yeah, he's already out of the car. Kind of giving the input on the contact that he had. Obviously, somebody potentially getting into the back of him. Adams is going to fall to the tail of the field with 8 laps to go. That's going to help Jacob Douglas as well. Douglas is going to be able to get up and potentially buy Logan Adams here if he gets enough laps. If he gets 8 laps, he'll actually be on the same lap, I think. So again, they did all that work to Jacob Douglas's machine to try to get him back on the racetrack. We're still watching that fight between Tanner DeFabis and Owen Tangevelu. Tangevelu in the white and blue number 8 for turn 3. The dark black and blue number 4 for Tanner DeFabis. That's a great scrap.
Another penalty coming from race control. Max Garcia penalized for blocking, needs to give up the spot to Nicholas Montero. So 4th and 5th will change hands again, and Garcia will have to go back at it to try and earn the spot back.
Here's a move to the inside too. A couple of that's turn 3 car going at it here. Tangevelu potentially with Matt Clark. Does Clark have an issue? Is he falling backwards? Last time by, he was significantly quicker than Tangevelu. That may be him battling with Montero. I got to get an update when they come back around here. We'll have a little look. As you said, Garcia having to give up that spot as he got hit with blocking on Nicholas Montero. We'll see as they work their way out of turn number 10, 11, and 12 now. Here comes your leader onto the front straightaway. 3.9 seconds. Elkin out front getting exactly what he needs. Open racetrack, open air. Loving it. Across the line here. There's the number 2 of Cooper Becklin running second. Michael Costello trying to chase him down. They both drivers turning 22.8s and 22.7s. Costello actually the fastest driver in that front group. Garcia 4th, Montero 5th. There's your leader. Putting down the laps. Caleb, again, driver's dream. Everybody racing behind you. You got a nice little advantage, almost 4 seconds. You're just out there banging out qualifying laps.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, he's just got to hang on to it and just keep on driving around and just don't make any mistakes and just keep it all 4 wheels on the track.
Can you talk a little bit about a tire deg? Did you feel any of it at all? I know you weren't able to finish the one race, but in the race number 1, did you feel tire deg through to the end of the run?
I mean, really, it's not really tire deg. It's just, I think, the air pressure. Once the air pressure gets to a certain point, you just start to feel it, and it's not really the tire falling off though, because I mean, we can drop the pressure for the next race and it'd be the same for a little bit and then start to fall off. I think it just fall off quicker.
That's it. The tires, the Continentals, man, I'll tell you, they are consistent throughout the run. That's why a lot of the times we talk about qualifying, seeing drivers go as quick as they did early. As that fuel load starts to drop and the cars get lighter and lighter, the tire's still giving enough grip to get those fast times at the end of a 20-minute qualifying run. There's Matt Clark right there. That's the battle he's in. Matt Clark currently runs in 5th. Nicholas Montero in 6th and Tangevelu 7th. They're all kind of running together on track right now. They're 4 points. No, they're actually not that far back. We're going to continue to watch this fight. Beckham across the line. I'm going to try to pick up this next battle. Yeah, here it is here. Matt Clark's actually got around Garcia, and I wonder whether or not he was right there. Clark's now up into 4th, Garcia in 5th, Montero 6th, Owen Tangevelu 7th.
I'm thinking that was serving the penalty, giving up the 1 position there, which is why put Garcia back behind Clark.
And then he went back and got the spot immediately down in turn number 1. So indeed, give the spot back up and then get that run and get it done again. Well played run there for Max Garcia, but that battle's still on. And remember, that's a championship fight as well. I think overall, I think Garcia is just faster than Clark on sheer pace. Watch to see him potentially be able to pull away. They're over 3.5 seconds back of Michael Costello running in the 3rd spot. 20 laps down, 5 to go. That right there is 4th, 5th, and 6th as Nicholas Montero really putting together a fantastic weekend now. And 3 top 10s lining up here for Montero as he has moved over to turn 3 motorsport. It has been a big weekend for that young Brazilian.
And when you think about some of the chaos that's happened at the beginning of the races and that we saw this morning, we saw today, to miss it all, to get those consistent finishes, that's a terrific bit of work.
To stay away from the chaos, right? To make sure you're not part of it. That's been a really consistent run for Montero. I like seeing out of Nichols. Great kid. Again, as I said, I had a chance to walk around this racetrack on Wednesday evening with Turn 3 Motorsports, and Nicholas was taking lots of notes, listening to, of course, the team owner Peter Dempsey, their driver coach Rasmus Lint here as well, a former multi-time race winner in the USF Pro 2000 category, a professional driver now in sports car racing.
And a neighbor of mine in Florida, by the way.
There you go. Rasmussen, fantastic driver. We had him, of course, come through the entire USF Pro 2000 or the US Pro Championship program. It was formerly known as the Road to Indy back then. That's that battle still continuing, I believe, with Joey Brienza, Tangivello, and potentially DeFavis. So that fight still continues. It's a 3.8 second lead for Elkin. As I'll tell you, Cooper Becklin just chipping away at a little bit here and there, but it's a huge lead for Elkin. He's on cruise control right now with 4 laps remaining.
Becklin just put his fast lap of the race in on the 20th of 25 laps at a 1:22.88, while Elkin ran a 1:23 flat. So a lot of ground to make up and not a lot of time to do it. But to talk your discussion about the tires a little earlier, guys putting up their fast lap of the race on lap 19, lap 20 of 25. That's pretty good.
Yes, sir. I mean, air pressure's the game. I mean, you can either have it come in super early or you come in late. It all depends on what you want, and you kind of want to have it, I'd say, come in about the middle, just so you can have a good run that race. And it's not you're super quick in the beginning, slow in the end, or you're super quick at the end and you're just fighting for it at the beginning.
Right, yeah, your elbows are up, waiting for those tires to come up to pressure and come up to temperature. You saw that huge gap from Monteiro back to Manson. It's actually almost 6 seconds now, from 6th back to 7th. Sebastian Manson has worked his way back up to 7th. Tanner DeFavis 8th, Owen Tangivello 9th, Joey Brienza 10th, and Carson Etter, great drive right now, into the 11th position. He's got Tyke Durst about a half a second behind him. Frankie Mossman's got himself back up into 13th, but that'll be it. He's 18 seconds back after that drive-through penalty. But right now, the laps are ticking away for Ariel Elkin to grab another victory. Although Max Garcia running there P4 in front of Matt Clark, who's 3rd place in points. Obviously well in front of Alessandro Bettulio, who is involved in the incident with Max Taylor. Both those drivers out of the race. They were most definitely in championship contention. This has widened things up in a big way for Max Garcia, and I guarantee they were on the radio a little bit, making sure that he knew, hey, your primary contenders have had issues. They're off the racetrack. 2 of them are done. One's behind you. Listen, just settle in. Let's get another great result and get out of Indianapolis with a massive point lead.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you just want to make sure you can have a good points run. I mean, it all comes down to the end of the season. And it's going to be a big one. It can be close this year, and there's still so many races to go. I mean, it's nowhere even near to the end of the season yet. So we have a lot more time to see how the racing will pan out.
Caleb, one of the things I kind of laugh about a bit is you guys, as you get down to the final couple races, Toronto and Portland, in your mind, it's like, oh man, I wish I would have maybe not made that move back at Indianapolis. I'd love those points back, but you don't think about that early in the year, do you? You guys are the racers that say, I'll just win races, let the championship take care of itself.
Yeah, I mean, at the beginning of the season, you just want to win everything you can, but then you start to realize you're like, oh, we need to start putting it forward to the end of the season and be like, we can come home with this championship. We just got to play it smart.
That's it. Again, that's a driver's mindset, folks. They always want to win races and just stack up those points, but every once in a while, man, if I just maybe held back and not wrecked and tried to go for 4th, I'll take that 5th place points. Could have been a difference maker, but again, that's why I'm an announcer. I'm the one that holds back. I'm not the driver who throws it all out there, Alan, right? You get that.
It's like the baseball analogy. People talking about, games in April. Well, if you get to September and you missed making the playoffs by 1 game, that game you lost in April makes a difference.
It does, yeah.
Same here.
It's exactly the same here. You never want to leave points on the table, and that's why you're seeing some of these guys really get after it. I'll tell you one thing, Garcia continues to push to try to close up on Michael Costello. It's 1.8 seconds. In that last lap, he was 0.8 of a second faster. He is up on the wheel. Check this out as they come through. There, right there, is Garcia. How close is he to Costello right now? 1.8 seconds with 2 laps to go. White flag will fly this time by. Garcia's pushing to try to get himself on the podium. Remember, we have not seen him on the podium yet this weekend. The point leader is stacking points, but he's not making any appearances here in victory lane and up on the podium. White flag flying, 1 more lap for Ariel Elkin and TJ Speed Motorsports to try to grab another victory here on the world's greatest race course. There he is there, the number 27 of Elkin. Trying to get 2 big victories here on the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Becklin kind of bring home that solid 2nd place run. Excellent drive for Cooper. Final laps. And again, as I said before, Jacob Douglas back on the racetrack. When he gets this lap done, he's going to be able to get by, potentially get past Logan Adams, because Logan, of course, is done. He'll move him down a spot. Jace Denmark was able to get back on the racetrack. He's 5 laps down, but he continues to run, I believe. I think so, yep. 5 laps down, but continues on the racetrack. Otherwise, here, final lap for Ariel Elkin. Last year running in USF Juniors, jumped right up over top of USF 2000 to go to the Pro 2000 category. And again, coming out with a very difficult run at the Grand Prix of St. Petersburg. And trouble still here. I'll tell you, Costello's struggling. That's the battle there back. As they come out to turn number 11 and 12, that's your leader. There's 2nd Becklin. Look how close he is now. Costello falling back a little bit, and here comes Garcia, his teammate. That's Pabst Racing, both drivers. And Garcia wants this spot. Look at this battle. They're going to have a fight. It's going to be a drag race to the line, to be honest. Here comes your race winner, though. 2 for 3 on the weekend for Ariel Elkin. He wins again, side by side across a yard of bricks. Not quite enough for Garcia. Elkin with the win. Cooper Becklin second. And Michael Costello just holds on by less than 0.03 of a second at the line. Almost got up for third. But again, wild to think your point leader, who went 5 straight podiums to start the year, not one here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, but all fantastic finishes, and he'll leave extending the point advantage. Garcia, P4, Matt Clark fought his way all the way back up to 5th after being involved in that early incident. On lap number 1, Monteiro, another great top 10 finish for Nicholas Monteiro. Sebastian Manson, who was off track at one point, back up into 7th. Tanner DeFabus 8th, Owen Tangevelu 9th, and Joey Brienza rounding out the top 10. Great run as well for Carson Eder. He ends up 12th, starting all the way back in the 20th position, so able to get a full distance run. Eder was in the middle of a good battle there with Tyke Durst over the last couple of laps. Ariel Elkin, though, another victory, huge for him right now as he continues to try to put together the program to keep racing here throughout this 2025 season. Of course, he'll be looking to potentially jump up into Indy next in 2026 if he can get the job done. He's trying to fast track his way through this USF Pro Championships. And I'll tell you, Alan, a couple of wins here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. When you win at this level, you've got the talent to move to Indy next.
And you've got a lot of people here looking on in that series and the series above it that have their own competition this weekend, and take note of things like that. And the whole race changed. Remember how much pressure that Elkin was under? The whole race changed when the guys racing for 2nd and 3rd and 4th tangled behind him and gave him the gap to work with from there.
Indeed, I kind of expected they were going to be pushing their way up. They did not, and they scrapped over in turn number 3 and 4, like you said. Caleb Guerrero, let's wrap things up. I appreciate you coming and joining us here, everybody coming in. Give you an opportunity to talk about who makes it happen for you. Who sponsors do you have on that race car?
Yes, sir. I mean, thank you for having me. I mean, Circle K, my parents help out, and my grandparents help out amazingly. Molecule, Bell Helmets, everyone else who sponsors me, I'm so thankful for Augie and them. They do a great job every single weekend. Can't wait to see what the rest of the season brings.
Obviously, race fans here want to follow the up-and-coming stars. How do they follow you on social media? Where do you post?
Caleb G. Racer on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
Well done, my friend. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Caleb Guerrero from Pabst Racing, folks, one of the drivers in the USF 2000 program, joining us here. Already a podium finisher here in 2025. He'll be going for that first race win throughout the remainder of the season. There's Cooper Becklin out of the car. Great run for Cooper, as well for Michael Costello, just holding off his teammate Max Garcia on the final circuit by less than 0.03 of a second at the line. And they're waiting right now here for the number 27 machine of Ariel Elkin to get himself up right to the head of the class to celebrate yet again. A very emotional victory for him, the first one yesterday afternoon. He was pumped up, and I tell you, there it is again. This driver, as I said, the emotion is there, wears it on his sleeve for sure, and he'll be pumped up when he gets out of the race car. Big for him as well to get a couple of victories, fighting his way back into it. We talked about the fact he had essentially a couple of DNFs, a DNF and a DNS at St. Petersburg. 0 points really coming out of the opening couple of rounds, and came back and had some good races at NOLA Motorsports Park, rather, the triple header there in April. But man, to come here into Indianapolis and get 2 wins out of the triple header, that is big for that young driver. And it signals what he's got, what he's worth, the speed that they have in that TJ Speed Motorsports car. Tim Neff, thrilled to have that young driver in the car. He's had a good run as well for Sebastian Manson in 7th, but here he comes again. Big victory. Huge one for Ariel Elkin. He's going after the team for sure. Yeah, no shortage of enthusiasm right there for Ariel Elkin. Love it. Let's head down to pit lane, have a chance to talk with our race winner.
Here with Ariel Elkin, and Ariel, big hugs once again for the entire team. You can sense the emotion here in pit lane. 2 wins in 2 days. This sets you up great for the championship, and you had to fight a little bit for that one.
Yes, absolutely. I'm super, super proud to bring the second win of the weekend for TJ Speed and for Israel. It is very, very important for me, and it means a lot for me to be here. And I'm very happy to take this opportunity that the people gave me. I would like to say a big, big thank you to the Jewish community here in Indiana. These guys make me feel at home, far from home, although the home is in Israel, but they make me feel very, very well. So big thanks to everyone who came to support. Big thanks to my family, to everyone who made it possible for me to be here today. Am Israel Chai.
There you have it, a very, very happy driver.
Thank you so much, DJ. Appreciate all your work with our USF Pro Championship drivers. Yeah, those victory interviews down on pit lane. Thanks again to DJ Clark for that. Alan Bestwick, thanks for joining us as well. I'll tell you, first and foremost, a great afternoon still coming. Lots of racing. It's the month of May. You're going to spend a lot of time here in the public address booth here in Indianapolis this week, but I appreciate you joining us here on the broadcast.
Always fun to watch the stars of tomorrow get their chance to shine on the big stage that is Indianapolis, and a great weekend of racing for the whole group.
Let's have a look at the unofficial results right there. Ariel Elkin in the number 27 getting that victory. Big run as well for Cooper Becklin. Congratulations to Coop on that one. He ends up coming home in second, representing the Pacific Northwest. Michael Costello out of Naples, Florida, coming home in third. Great run for that rookie as well. Garcia somehow finds his way back up into P4, stacking up the points here at Indianapolis. They'll have a massive lead heading to the Freedom 90 in 2 weeks at the Carbonite Classic. Matt Clark, a great run as well. Remember, he went all the way to the very tail of the field after getting caught up in that incident. Nowhere to go on the opening lap. But for him to come back to P5, Matt Clark is going to win some races here in 2025, looking very good for Exclusive Autosport. Nicholas Montiero, what can I say about the Brazilian? Another top 10 finish for him. Sebastian Manson coming back after being off track over in turn 3. He fights his way back to 7th. Tanner DeFamus, the local driver, another top 10 as well. Tanner, very impressive, to 8th. Owen Tangevelu 9th, and Joey Brienza rounding out the top 10. Tyke Durst and Carson Etter, those drivers battling it out there for 11th and 12th over the last couple of laps of that race as well. Further down the field, drive-through penalty dropped Frankie Mossman from 2nd all the way down to 13th. I think he potentially could have battled for the race win. Charles Finelli coming home in 14th spot. Couple laps down there for Chase Denmark. They had to fix that machine. Logan Adams out early, as we said, and just not quite enough for Jacob Douglas to jump over top of Adams. He takes 16th, Douglas 17th, after the team feverishly worked on the left front to get him back out onto the track. George Garcia out early. We know that that car dead stick on the front straightaway. That brought out a yellow. And then, guys, that first corner wreck between Max Taylor, Alessandro DiTullio, and Brady Golan, all 3 of those drivers, 19th, 20th, and 21st, respectively. Thank you so much, Alan. Let's wrap things up for the USF Pro Championships here at Indianapolis. The, again, VP Racing Grand Prix of Indianapolis, our event here. 5 races throughout the last couple of days. Great job by our drivers as well. And all of those here in USF Pro 2000, just 2 steps away from the NTT IndyCar Series. We got a number of our guests to help us out here a bit today, guests from VP. Let's get things underway. The driver coming home in 3rd spot. A fantastic run for Pabst Racing. P3 goes to Michael Costello. Sean and Mia McLaughlin are going to help me out here. Mia's got that trophy. Again, some of our guests from VP Racing. Great job for Michael. That front end was damaged. He talked about the fact the steering wheel was kind of sideways and almost lost that 3rd spot to his teammate. Great drive here as well, staying out of trouble. P2 for Turn 3 Motorsports, Cooper Becklin. Brian Christoffel coming in here with us with the trophy. Again, one of our guests from VP. Hop up on top there with him, Brian. We'll give you a chance to stand there with Cooper. Great job for Cooper Becklin, first career podium in USF Pro 2000 competition, stayed out of trouble and finds himself up here on the podium at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. One more spot on the podium, folks, and this driver here, as we know, has got himself back in championship contention in a big way. 2 wins on the season. Obviously, always emotional, always fired up. The winner today for TJ Speed Motorsports. A round of applause for Ariel Elkin. Scott and Debbie Holly from Cerity Partners are going to come in and help us out with some trophies here. Ariel, 2 big victories. Scott coming in, love it. Scott and Debbie, great to have you with us. Climb up on top there. Get in the back there with Ariel and give him a chance to get yet another trophy. USF Juniors double winner last year for Inter MS, moving over to TJ Speed this year for USF Pro 2000, jumping up to the top level of our program. And a couple of big victories here for Ariel. You saw the emotion coming out of the car. Scott and Debbie, thank you so much. You can exit stage left, and we'll get an opportunity to get the hats on these drivers. The champagne, of course, waiting in the wings. Sancio Grand Prix coming up here. IndyCar racing on the road course here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And as I said, these young drivers, just 2 steps away. They want to go to Indy next in 2026 and eventually follow in the footsteps of Renus VK, Kyle Kirkwood, Stingray Robb, Christian Rasmussen, and Louis Foster, all champions of the USF Pro 2000 program who are now racing in the NTT IndyCar Series. Lockie Hughes and Miles Rowe, who are just on the podium in Indy next, our most recent champions. They're on their way to IndyCar as well. This is the future of the IndyCar Series on display for you throughout the weekend here today. Get those trophies up in the air, guys, for me. Thank you very much. Again, what a fantastic run for Ariel Elkin, folks. A lot of supporters here for Ariel this weekend. It was great to watch him run last year in USF Juniors, jumping up over top of USF 2000 to focus right on Pro here this year. And he has delivered for TJ Speed a couple of victories here at the world's greatest race course. All that remains here after these trophies go in the air, folks, is that champagne. I talk about the fact when they run all these races, they don't spray each other the first couple of races. They've got to wear these race suits again, right? They don't have to wear these suits again until we get to Indianapolis Raceway Park for the oval event at the Freedoms in 2 weeks. So these suits are going to the dry cleaner, I'll tell you that. Bringing in our VP flag here as well for Ariel Elkin. Big thank you, of course, to our great partner, VP Racing, for being our presenting sponsor of the event here, the Grand Prix of Indianapolis. It's been fun having these drivers out here for you, some of them as young as 15 years of age, late teens, early 20s. All, again, as I say, focused on trying to get to the NTT IndyCar Series. Again, champagne waiting in the wings. We're getting a little shot here with all of our guests from VP Racing, and then we'll allow these drivers that one final celebration before we cap off the weekend here at IMS. Always a pleasure to bring these young pilots and get them a chance to experience this fantastic facility as part of the month of May. Those of you tuning into the broadcast on our YouTube channel, we love it. If you're around the racetrack and want to follow more of this, feel free to download our mobile app, the USF Pro Championships mobile app. All of our live timing, all the races streamed live as well. My podcast is on there. Driver bios, point standings, you name it, everything available on the app. You can download that to follow all the action. Like I said, folks, only one thing left to do. The champagne coming in to find our final celebration of the weekend. Great racing for these drivers here. When they spray the champagne, help me out with a round of applause. Guys, grab that champagne, grab it, grip it, and rip it. Let's celebrate here at USF Pro 2000. A round of applause for the top drivers. Ariel Elkin with his second win, Cooper Becklin first podium, and Michael Costello as well onto the podium. The celebration continuing here for Ariel Elkin. Thank you so much, folks. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon. We've got so many drivers from the USF Pro Championships we'll be watching this weekend. Louis Foster being one of those drivers in the Sancio Grand Prix coming up. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. All those you tuning in on the broadcast, thanks again. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Anderson Promotions and Continental Tire, my name's Rob Howden. Bye for now.
What a race!